They call it the micro SUV that defies physics. But is the 2026 Suzuki S-Presso actually a masterpiece of efficiency? Or is it just a dangerous box on wheels that you should avoid at all costs? For years, this polarizing little machine has been the punchline of every automotive joke, mocked for its quirky looks and bare-bones approach. But here is the reality that the critics conveniently ignore: it sells in droves. As we dive into the 2026 model, you need to know if this is the ultimate budget-friendly urban warrior or a glorified golf cart. And before we get into the nitty-gritty, I have to tell you about a massive, hidden flaw buried deep in its chassis, a specific design quirk that could turn your morning commute into a nightmare if you aren't careful. And I'm going to reveal exactly what that is at the very end of this video. First, let's talk about the audacity of its design. Suzuki knows exactly what they are doing. They've taken a compact platform and forced it to stand tall with 181 millimeters of ground clearance. In a world where every sedan is scraping its underbelly on speed bumps, the S-Presso treats them like they don't even exist. It's built on the Hardtech platform, which uses high-tensile steel to keep the weight down to a featherweight level. Why does that matter? Because weight is the enemy of performance and fuel economy. By keeping this car light, they've squeezed every drop of efficiency out of that peppy 1-liter, dual-jet 3-cylinder engine. You aren't buying this car to win drag races, but in the chaotic, stop-and-go gridlock of a modern city. You will be weaving through traffic while the performance SUVs are still burning fuel at a standstill. Inside, the interior is pure, unadulterated pragmatism. If you value minimalism, you will love it. If you value luxury, you will hate it. The center-mounted digital speedometer is polarizing, sure, but it creates a cabin layout that feels surprisingly airy for a car this narrow. If you are enjoying this deep dive into the most controversial car on the road, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and drop a like. It helps us keep bringing you these no-nonsense breakdowns of the vehicles that actually shape our streets. Now, let's address the elephant in the room: safety. It is no secret that earlier iterations of this vehicle struggled in global crash tests. And while Suzuki has made strides by adding electronic stability program and hill-hold control to the automatic variants, it's still not a tank. You have to understand that this is a city car designed for specific markets and specific needs. It's not built for the Autobahn, and it's not built for high-speed highway bravado. It's built for agility, parking in spots that literally no other car can fit into, and providing reliable, low-cost transportation for the masses. The 2026 model refines the steering feel, just enough to make it less twitchy at higher speeds. And the suspension tuning is a bit more forgiving than the versions we saw 5 years ago. But here is where the conversation gets interesting. Many people look at the price tag and assume it's a compromise. They look at the 67 horsepower and the tiny tires and think they're losing out on the automotive experience. But I'd argue that there is a different kind of freedom in the S-Presso. It's the freedom of not caring about door dings. It's the freedom of getting 23 kilometers per liter without trying. It's the freedom of owning a vehicle that costs less to service than a high-end smartphone. However, we have to talk about that massive, glaring flaw I mentioned at the start. While the engine is efficient, the automated manual transmission, or AGS, is the weak link. Under hard acceleration, especially when you are trying to merge onto a busy highway, there is a distinct, prolonged dead zone where the transmission hesitates to shift. It's a rhythmic, mechanical pause that can leave you stranded in the middle of an intersection for a terrifying second if you aren't prepared for it. It is the one thing that will frustrate you every single day. And it's the reason why, despite all its charm, you should think twice before using this car for anything other than pure, slow-paced city errands.